Hey everyone, it's my turn to lead our weekly devotional. I'm really glad you're with me today. Just a few days ago, my wife and I, we were having a discussion about our children, all three of them. We have a 17-year-old daughter, an 11-year-old daughter, and a 6-year-old son. And our conversation was diverse, but it kept coming back to one of the main things that we believe they're all three struggling with right now. And it looks different for all three of them, but I think it's a common struggle that they're sharing. And that struggle is that they are all three aware of the potential of what other people are thinking about them. I see it in all three of them in different ways. Particularly, though, I see it in my son, who is, again, only 6. And sometimes I watch him from a distance, or I'm observing him in church or around other people, and I just look at him and I just shake my head and I'm just like, Lord, please bless that little boy. He is just like me. I see his insecurities. I see his just kind of skepticism sometimes. I see his fear of what other people think about him just coming out. And so I just pray for his little soul all the time, because when I see him, I just see myself so much at a young age. I remember my first real core memory of being afraid of what other people think about me was about the age of 6. Actually, I'd broken my leg really badly, and I had been in the hospital. I'd been in a cast for a handful of weeks, and I remember getting the cast off, and it was time to go back to school. And I was so worried about what people were going to think about me being back at school and having this limp, and how I was going to be slow to walk, and I could barely get my leg up over a curb. And I was in so much pain walking because I'd worn this cast for so long. And I remember laying in bed at the age of 6 and the night before this, and just being so petrified of what other people were going to think about me. We've tried to talk our son into playing basketball on a team that a lot of his buddies from school are going to be playing on. And we've tried to let him know, like, we really, really want you to play on this team. And he's had his friends begging him to. Parents from those friends are asking Wells to play like he's Shaq or something, going to dominate the paint or whatever. But my son loves basketball. He loves the Thunder. If you pull up at our church, you know that he loves basketball. He's out there at that hoop all the time, playing with the high school boys and anybody that will just show him the time of day out there on that court. He loves basketball, but he is refusing to play because he is afraid of failing. And he said that. What if I mess up? What if I don't know what I'm doing? What if this happens? What if that happens? And he's 6 years old, and he is so worried about failing and disappointing people. And it's keeping him from doing something that he would really, really enjoy. I look at my daughters, and their struggle is a bit different, but they're very aware of what they look like, and what they're going to wear to school, right? And how their hair is going to look, and who their friends are, and who they're talking to, and who they're hanging out with. And again, I'm not saying any of that to judge them or anything like that. I just see it, and it's just something that I observe, and I speak into it as much as I can. But what I will tell you as their dad, all three of them, if I could give them anything besides the Lord Jesus Christ himself, I would just hand them the gift of losing the fear of man in their minds and their hearts. If I could give them anything, I would just remove that from them, where they could go live their lives free, not in fear, being scared about what people might think of them or say about them. That's what I would give them. And I've thought about that a lot. If I could just take that fear away from them, I would, because I know what that feels like. And it could just dominate your thoughts, and it can just take away so many opportunities that you have in your life. I want you to just, think about it for a moment. I mean, how many moments of your life have you let slip by because you're afraid of what people might think of you? How many opportunities have just slipped through your fingers because you were afraid and just frightened by what people might think about a decision you're going to make, or how you might appear? And I just wonder what we've missed out on operating in the world where the thoughts of men control us and steer our direction. And I think if there's anything that I would tell you just out of just deep love for you and experience, the ache of my own heart, my own struggles, my own insecurities throughout my life, is that if we could wake up every day and the day starts with the simple thought of, God, all I want to do is please you. All I care about is honoring you in the way that I dress, in the way that I talk, what I watch, what I listen to, how I treat people, how hard I work, my attitude. God, that's all that matters to me, is if I please you. Nothing else will satisfy me. Nothing else will make me whole or quench the thirst within me, the hunger that's aching inside my soul. The only thing that will ever quench any of that is the approval of the Lord and honoring him with your life. That's what I would give all of us. The Apostle Paul, he talks about this in the book of Galatians and chapter 1, and he just says these incredible words. He says, am I trying to win the approval of human beings, or am I trying to win the approval of God? And he says, if I'm trying to please people, I cannot serve Christ. I cannot please people and serve Christ at the same time. I can't have my foot on both sides of the line. It's impossible. And so I'm just praying this over you today. I'm praying this over your heart and your soul, your families, that we would begin to live in a way that says, Lord, all I care about is pleasing you. I will fear no man or man's thoughts of me. My whole joy, my whole goal is to serve you and honor you with my whole heart and my whole life. Church, when we do that, we'll be so satisfied and we'll have so much peace and so much freedom. Love you all. Have a great week. And I'll be praying for you. We're always here for you if you need anything at all. Take care.